Okay, that brings us to request number 13. This request is from the City School District in New Rochelle for Mr. Rolf Koehler. At the Commission's November 2009 meeting, they approved the waiver for Mr. Koehler for a limited period through June 30th of this year, with the stipulation that the City of New Rochelle Civil Service Commission conduct an examination. An examination was conducted. 12 candidates passed the examination. Of those reachable, there are 4 reachable candidates. 3 are non-retirees. The appointing authority indicated to us that they did not canvass because the candidates lacked preferred qualifications such as supervisory experience, which weren't a part of the official minimum qualifications. Staff is recommending approval for a limited period of July 1st, 2010 through October 31st, 2010, and disapproval thereafter. That will provide time for the appointing authority to make a permanent appointment from the eligible list. Staff further recommends in transmitting the notification that the appointing authority be apprised that it's not a determination on Mr. Koehler's continued employment, but rather the appropriateness of collecting pension benefits and a salary as a retired person. And further, if they feel that the qualifications aren't appropriate, that does give them time to at least discuss that with the New Rochelle Civil Service Commission.
Agreed. Move that it be approved for the period recommended with the stipulations recommended. Agreed.
Okay.
So we're on to New Rochelle?
Yes. The City of New Rochelle Civil Service Commission adopted a resolution amending the appendices of their rules. The resolution was received in November of 2009, and we contacted the City Commission for additional information in February of this year. No response was received. We recontacted in April. Again, no response was received, so we sent a final follow-up in July of this year. And we received response a day before our imposed deadline, and the response consisted wholly of a reiteration of what was submitted in the original request. Part of the documentation that was missing was justification for the requests. We didn't know why they were being requested. So based on the lack of information, we weren't able to conduct a comprehensive review to determine if the requests were appropriate. So we're recommending this approval without prejudice for the resolution as a whole for resubmission by the City Commission that includes all of the appropriate documentation to support the requests.
Move that the recommendation be accepted and that the amendments submitted by the City of New Rochelle be disapproved at this time without prejudice to the submission of the necessary information for staff review.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Agree.
The State Civil Service Commission has a policy of approving a Section 211 waiver for a limited duration for a retiree serving in a competitive class position when there is either no eligible list in existence or that the eligible list in existence is about to expire. For retirees subject to the pre-October 7th criteria, and if there is an existing eligible list, the list must contain fewer than 3 non-retirees among the interested and reachable candidates. For retirees subject to the post criteria, and if there is an eligible list in existence, the list must not contain any non-retirees among the interested and reachable candidates. When one of these criteria is met, approval is granted with the stipulation that an examination be conducted by the Civil Service Agency with jurisdiction to determine the availability of qualified non-retirees. The Commission approves such requests for a period not to exceed 3 months beyond the month in which the examination is to be conducted. There really are 2 exceptions to this. One is if the position is within a school district. It's particular security positions. Those exams are typically held in February, and to hold the security operations of the school district harmless, the State Commission has approved those requests for 4 months through the end of June to get them through the end of the school year. The other exception would be when examinations are held in May. 3 months beyond that date would put us in August, and the Commission does not meet in August, so the Commission has approved those requests through September. On today's calendar, there's 6 requests. 5 are subject to the pre-criteria, and 1 is subject to the post-October 7th criteria. These are all in conformance and are recommended for approval for the following periods. The first is for Mr. Edward Sim with the Village of Albany, the Village of Colony in Albany County. Staff recommends approval for the period of October 1st, 2010 through September 30th, 2011. For for Mr. Stephen Brown with the Monroe County Office of the Sheriff for the period of October 1st, 2010 through April 30th, 2011. For Mr. Bruce Daniele with the City School District of New Rochelle for the period of July 1st, 2010 through June 30th, 2011. That examination, as I mentioned, was in February 2011, but we're recommending approval through June to avoid a disruption in the security force of the school district. Mr. Robert Hertman, in the town of Wallkill in Orange County, we're recommending approval for the period of July 17th, 2010 through June 30th, 2011. And the last is for Mr. Stephen Procrim. He is with the Schenectady Municipal Housing Authority in Schenectady County. We are recommending retroactive approval in that instance for the period January 1st, 2010 through September 30th, 2011. The Schenectady Municipal Housing Authority submitted this request for Mr. Procrim back in October of 2009. All information necessary to process the request was received by January 2010. However, the request was not processed due to a lack of recruitment information to support another Section 211 waiver request for Mr. Procrim, and we typically put those on the same calendar. I'll discuss that other request in a moment, but that is why this one is in need of retroactive approval. The last one that meets the Commission's criteria is under the post criteria for Mr. Daniel Pluff from the Niagara County District Attorney's Office. In that instance, we're recommending approval for the period October 1st, 2010 through September 30th, 2011.
Move that all be approved as recommended.
Agreed.